Thank you for joining us, Nina. You're remotely through Lady Freethinker. You're hosting a protest in Washington, D.C., and then one in California. And it's about the cat torture groups in China. Can you tell us what prompted you to host these?
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about this. The first protest in DC is to urge Chinese officials to end the torture and killing of cats in underground online groups. And then the second protest is on June 4th in Menlo Park, California. And that is at Meta headquarters to urge them to remove animal cruelty off of Facebook. And on Facebook, we're mainly seeing torture of baby monkeys, as well as fake rescue videos involving dogs and cats and other forms of animal torture. So unfortunately, animal torture is widespread across many social media platforms right now, and the team at Lady Freethinker is just doing all we can to raise awareness and to stop it.
It must be very hard to look at the footage.
It's incredibly hard to watch these videos. Um, it has to be done in small doses, honestly, just for for mental well-being. Horrific torture is happening. They're talking about cats being put into meat grinders, nailed to boards, burned, mutilated, all of these things. The same with the baby monkeys on Facebook. And all of this is actually happening on Telegram, both the cats and the monkeys, unfortunately. And thankfully there are a lot of dedicated people who are tracking these videos and working to identify the abusers and speaking out against it. But we do have a long way to go.
Who do you think will respond more quickly, the governments to pass animal cruelty legislation or the internet social media sites?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And thankfully, we've had some success with smaller social media platforms. Teleguard and Maywait, for example, removed monkey torture content after Action for Primates, who partners with Lady Freethinker, reached out to them, which was a pretty significant win. It's more difficult on the larger platforms and also, of course, with governments who are, massive entities and don't tend to act quickly, on anything. And unfortunately, that includes animal torture. Um, I think ultimately we're going to need a combination of both. We need these platforms to care, and to actively seek out and remove this content and stop it from being posted in the first place. And we also need strong regulations that are going to protect the animals. In China in particular, it can be very difficult to prosecute these individuals because there's no specific animal cruelty law that bans what they're doing. There are other laws that can be used. You can prosecute based on property laws or health laws or other various sort of workarounds that have enabled prosecutions, thankfully, and I'm very grateful for those. But there does need to be a law specifically prohibiting animal cruelty for companion animals and for other animals as well. We also probably need some legislation that regulates these social media platforms to ensure that they are, acting in good faith and enforcing their own terms and conditions, because what we're seeing often is that these videos do violate the terms and conditions of, say, Facebook or YouTube. They don't allow animal torture on their platform, but they're just not really doing their job um, of policing their own content. And that can be done in a way that still allows for free speech, and as well as videos that work to expose and end animal cruelty. For example, Lady Freethinker does a lot of investigations into animal cruelty, and we don't want that content removed, obviously, because it has educational value. But we do need them to proactively seek out videos that promote and encourage animal torture.
And these protests are happening around the globe, including in China. Is that right?
Yes, Chinese activists have been amazingly responsive to this, and they're working very hard um, to gather information and to stop the torture. And our partner in this DC protest, Feline Guardians, has members all over the globe. They're in France, they're in Japan, they're all over the place, and I'm very grateful to be partnering with them to speak out in DC.
Can you just talk about the connection? Because people may ask, well, why should I be concerned about animals when humans endure so much?
Right. And I understand. And yeah, I hear that question a lot. And the reality is that animal and human cruelty are very closely connected. When we see cases of animal torture in particular, there's an indication that that person will go on to harm humans, and that puts children at risk, that puts everybody at risk. Serial killers notoriously start out on animals. They'll torture animals first, and then they'll go on to prey on women or whoever else they're after. So there's a very strong link. I think we know more about that link now than ever before. So part of helping end violence against humans involves stopping animal cruelty as well.
If people hear about this and they think, oh, it's just too horrible, I just don't want to hear about it, what would you say to them?
It's hard. I understand how hard it is to look at this abuse, because I have to look at it. I mean, that's what I do. And, when you view it and then do something about it, it makes it so much more tolerable. So don't be afraid to view it and then take action. Write a letter, sign a petition, join a protest. And when you know that you are working toward the end of this atrocity, it makes it much more tolerable. And ultimately, if we refuse to face animal cruelty, we have no hope of stopping it at all. So as hard as it is to watch, if you care about animals and want to end it, take one for the team and and look and try to do something about it.
Please, where can we find out more about where these protests are and what website can we go to?
Yeah, please visit ladyfreethinker.org to learn more. We also do have Facebook events for both of these demos. So if you search for us on Facebook, you can find them there. And also, if you have any questions, reach out to us, outreach at ladyfreethinker.org. We'd be happy to add you to our list of protest attendees, or just answer any questions that you have about these topics.
And ladyfreethinker.org would also be the place for people who may not be able to attend the protests, but they want to learn more and do more.
Absolutely. You can sign our petition at that website, or you can just Google cat torture petition Lady Freethinker. You'll find it. Facebook petition Lady Freethinker. You'll find that. And please do sign up for our newsletter as well, because we send news and actions on a regular basis to our email list.
And there was one thing you had said on a BBC interview. You had said that when you shine a light on this cruelty, that it has nowhere to hide, and it's the only way to stop it. I guess I've pretty much summed up what you said.
No, I mean, that's what I truly believe. When you give animal abusers nowhere to hide and you openly expose what's going on, you gain the power to end it. And that's what Lady Freethinker really works to do.